Hello everyone, welcome back to Life Technologies YouTube channel, and thank you so much for watching this video and supporting our channel. So another episode of how to troubleshoot OSPF on Nokia routing devices. So remember, in our last two episodes we have discussed some scenarios where you configure OSPF and the adjacency fails to come up. So you need to troubleshoot and use the available tools to test why the adjacency is failing to come up. So we have another episode. This is scenario 3, where we need to troubleshoot and find why the adjacency is failing to come up. So as usual, we need to start by testing connectivity, show router, OSPF, show router interface. And then we try to ping 10.10.10.1, the far end IP. This is okay. Then on router 2, show router interface, we try to ping 10.10.10.0. the connectivity is okay. So that one means we don't have any connectivity or reachability issues between the two routers. So the IP address, they are well configured. So what could be the issue that is causing the adjacency to fail to come up? So we check our OSPF configuration on router 2. You can see that we have router ID set to 2.2.2.2, and then area is set to 0. The interface is activated. We have activated the two interface system and interface to P1. On interface to P1, we have set the hello interval to 20 and the date interval to 60. We have enabled the OSPF process. So remember, in our previous episode, we mentioned two things. One was the area mismatch and the other one was the router conflict, router ID conflict. So we check the configuration on P1, we have the router ID set to 1.1.1, so it's different from the router ID that is configured on the other end. And then we have area 0, so area 0 on this router, area 0 on the other end. So we don't have any area mismatch between the two routers. We have enabled OSPF on the interfaces and also activated OSPF on this router. But when we run show router OSPF 10 neighbor, we don't have any adjacency between the two routers. So we need to use the available tools and try to establish why the adjacency has failed to come up, although our OSPF configurations looks okay. So remember last time we mentioned two tools. We are still using same tools. The first one is to check the statistics. So show router OSPF 10 statistics. So at this stage you can see that we have discards, which means we have an issue. And when we look down here, we have bad hello intervals. So this one clearly tells us that we are having hello timers mismatch between the two routers. And we can check further to prove that that is the issue that is causing the adjacency to fail to come up. We can recheck the counters again. You can see that the packets are increasing, the discards have increased, and also the bad hello intervals packets have increased. We don't have any issue with bad areas or bad networks or bad neighbors, but authentication type, no issue. So the focus will be on bad hello intervals. So this one has already given us a hint of what the issue is. But again, we need to go ahead and prove and check further that this is the exact issue that is causing the adjacency to fail to come up. So the next stage, we check on the logs, show log ID 99. This one gives us a clear indication of where we are having an issue. So you can see that we have conflicting configuration, hello mismatch on interface to P2. So this one clearly tells us that we have conflicting hello mismatch configuration. Remember, when you are configuring OSPF, the hello intervals and the dead intervals will be matching. If they doesn't match, then adjacency will fail to come up. So we can recheck our OSPF configuration. We do info, you find that here we are using the default timers, and the default timers, we can check them on this router later. So we don't have any timer configuration on this router, but when we check on R2 info, you find that on this interface we have set the hello interval to 20 and dead interval to 60. So this is where we are having the issue. For R1, if I do area 0 interface to P2 and then do info detail, you can see that hello interval is set to the default value of 10 and the date interval is set to the default value of 40. So there is a mismatch in the hello and date interval between the two routers. So on R2 we can modify this on this interface to P1. So we need to be under area 0 interface to P1 info. We can set no hello interval and then no date interval. So the values will be set to the default exit info. You can verify show router OSPF 10 neighbor. It will take some time to establish, and you can see that now our adjacency is fully up. We can show router OSPF 10 interface to P1. We need detail. You can see that we have the interval. Hello interval is set to 10. Date interval is set to 40. We can also verify on R1. Show router OSPF 10 interface. We have interface to P2. Detail, we have set the interval. It's also set to the default. It's set to 10. Let me just scroll back. So the interval is set to 10. We'll run the same command again. The interval is set to 10 for hello interval, and then the date interval is set to 40. So now the hello and date interval are merging, and you've seen that now our show router OSPF 10 neighbor, our adjacency is up. So when you are configuring OSPF, this is another key thing that you need to focus on. Whenever you make a change in the date and hello intervals, you always have to merge between the two routers, or else your adjacency will fail to come up. So I hope you've enjoyed this session, and there are other reasons that we need to discuss. There are many reasons that could lead to the adjacency failing to come up. So stay tuned for the upcoming videos on how to troubleshoot OSPF on Nokia routing devices. Thank you.